Joining us now is Hillel Zidel, who is the managing director of Kennett Partners London office. Hillel, wonderful to have you. Thanks so much for coming and welcome aboard.
Thank you very much, John. I'm delighted to be here talking to you today.
So my participants and I have been learning about the Go Viral story, and you invested in Go Viral, but your funds didn't actually go into Go Viral. Could you explain kind of why that happened and how it happened?
Yeah, absolutely. So at Kennett Partners, our model is to invest in founder-led bootstrap companies, just like GoViral and the many other companies that we've invested in. And part of what we're doing is primary capital in order to finance the growth of the business, and we're also buying shares from early investors, founders, and so on. In some cases, it may be all primary. In some cases, such as GoViral, it's all secondary. And I think that one thing about GoViral is because they were so capital efficient, there was actually no need for any primary capital
They
in
didn't
the
need your
business.
money. They didn't need it, right?
Exactly, but they needed, they needed an investor to come on board and help align the shareholder base such that it was, the right shareholder base for the future. So we bought shares from one of the founders, and there was, when we made the initial investment, there was the view or the hope that there would be an opportunity to put some primary capital into the business. But that didn't happen. The company grew well and grew profitably, and we're always proud of the fact that the founders of the business, the shareholders, took no dilution whatsoever between the time that we entered and exited the company.
Yeah. So every entrepreneur who seeks funding sort of dreams about the day when they can get some money off the table. Under what circumstances is that likely to happen?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Our view is that when we invest in companies, we're investing in companies where there's real value in the business. So we're not investing in very early stage startups where there's no revenue, but we're investing in companies that have revenues of anywhere between $5 and $50 million. And there is always, we may debate what the value of the business is, but it's clear that there is some value, real value in the company. And our view is that rather than having founders not sleep at night because they're so worried about all their eggs being in one basket, we're very happy to say, take a mini exit, de-risk partially so that we all feel comfortable to take the risks in order to grow the business. So the majority of our deals involve some element of secondary. In many cases, it's partially to de-risk the founders. And in fact, we are often encouraging founders to de-risk. So rather than the founder saying, I'd like to take some cash out, we say, well, as part of this deal, why don't you sell X percentage of your shares and have sort of a mini exit. And then the quantum of the cash out really depends on a few factors. The first thing is the maturity of the business. So the earlier the business, the less liquidity we'd like to see. Who the liquidity is going to is particularly important. So there's sort of no limit other than our fund constraints to the level of secondary to departing founders or non-active shareholders, but where we're providing liquidity to the management team or the CEO, there's a few factors we'll take into account. So, for example, if the founder has had an exit previously and is independently wealthy already, we're okay doing a large amount of cash out because it's unlikely to influence their behavior. On the other hand, if this is a first-time founder who's never had any significant capital gain, then we'll moderate it based on what we think will sort of impact behavior. So in general, we're doing a few hundred thousand, a few million. We've done much larger secondaries to departing founders. So we're always trying to balance, is this going to sort of kill motivation in a way? And so we're trying to optimize for that. So it's enough to make it meaningful, but not too much such that there's the incentive to build a great business is no longer there.
Yeah, so that motivation from the founding team and making sure that continues into the future is a key driver for how you make those decisions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And because we're in most cases, not all cases, but in most cases, we're minority investors. So, we're really backing those founders, to build value.